So I don't know if you could tell by that, but we are fixing the Impreza again. Well, we're working again on the Impreza in order to fix it from my incident last year. So everything we need should be in here. Hopefully nothing moves around too much. I might throw like the bag or something in the back just to make sure. But we are on our way this weekend to go replace that door with the new one and get everything ready for body working. So let's get to it. If you're new to the channel, you probably don't know what this is, but this is my first car. This is Sasha. She is, at the time, what I could afford. She was a silver non-turbo Wagon. And clearly, I've done some things to her. We did a wide body kit just because the whole rear end was so rusted out that it was beyond repairable in my opinion. So we got flares, threw that on. We did the front as well, molded everything because the flares fit horrible. We did a bunch of rust repair, but obviously it's not perfect. There is still rust coming back. We did a full respray, different color. It's Laguna Seca blue. And she is unfortunately my winter beater. Now that being said, yes, we've done a lot of work to her. Yes, she looks really good, but she also has a lot of problems. And I think for a winter beater, she's really good. Unfortunately, I think she's kind of gotten to the point to where she's not really repairable or restorable to my liking. And let's just say, you know, she's my first car. I love her to death, but I don't think I'd want to put a ton of time and more money into her to get her perfect, basically. You know, like, she's a nice car, looks great, but to get her perfect again, I just don't think it's really worth it. You know, there's just a lot of stuff. Like, if people wanted me to go into detail about it, I can go into detail, but I think, again, for a winter beater / daily, I think she's just fine. Like, just for example, this was our paint. It's like chipping a little bit here and right there. Like, you can see the body lines don't line up very good. That should kind of help explain why I don't really want to put a ton of time and money into her. Like, I'll do a little bit here and there, but you know, it's a good thing I did cover her up, because even as is, she's covered in a bunch of spider webs, like everywhere you look. Like, look at this. But dumb me decided it was a good idea to reverse the car in, and at the time it seemed like the right thing to do. Now looking at it, everything I need to do to the car is on the driver's side, and that's the side that is put into the bush. So we have to turn around, but to make it even more amazing, I left the battery in there not really caring, and I was supposed to throw the battery on a trickle charger just so the battery was, I could throw it in and move her out. I forgot it, so now we got a booster. So let's do that real quick. I don't know if I recorded any of that, but we did check the oil, boosted her with the truck, and she's alive. She's never let me down, I have to say. She doesn't want to come out. We're three-wheeling right now. See that? Oh, and something has a nest. Nice. Okay, so if you watched my old video of when we were last trying to kind of fix this car, we basically got to the point of putting the old flare back on, using PL Premium to secure it, and that stuff's amazing. I've never had a problem with it, never gave out. We put Bondo glass on it, and then I was kind of in the process of trying to like mold this section right here just so it kind of matches up, because even though I tried my best to line the flare up, it wasn't 100%. So I kind of have to remold all of this, which is not a problem. It's just a little more time consuming, but that's okay. So basically we're going to mask up this side of the flare just to make sure we don't get any body filler on it or damage it in any way, because I really don't want to paint this. I'd rather not. And we're just slowly going to try to manipulate this into becoming like matching the other side. Now it's a lot easier if you're doing both at the same time, because you can run your sandpaper across it and you don't have to worry, and then it all kind of just lines itself up. However, because we are obviously doing one side and not the other, it's going to be a little more difficult, but I think we could do it. We'll also have to worry about the gapping here. That's not a problem. That's actually pretty easy to do. Just take a flat sandpaper and take your time. The real hard part is just this section. Once we get this section, I'm going to take the door off, bring the door back to my place, and then we'll finish up the rest of it off the car. It's a lot easier off the car. On the car, it's way more difficult, but it's doable. It's just I'd rather not do it on the car. I guess let's start the long process of sanding and applying body filler. There's really not much to it. It's just you kind of throw it on, sand it off, throw it on, sand it off. It is what it is. It's time consuming. It's kind of boring, but you got to do it. Also want to mention some of the stuff we're going to be using here today is obviously body filler. There's Bondo glass that's kind of like body filler with fiberglass in it. It's really good for adding a little bit of extra strength. The brown stuff right there, that's Bondo glass. I like using it just to kind of add a layer of strength before I do the finer, like the more of like a finishing body filler. This is a lot more smoother. This will get to see the nice curves in the end product. We're going to be using some sandable primer whenever we're done that area, just to kind of seal everything away from the elements. I did use it there on the top of the door, but you could see it did rust a little bit. So it's not waterproof, but it does help a little bit. A bunch of different grits of sandpaper, basically. There's like, I don't know, I bought this from Amazon. It came with the sander. It's kind of my go-to now whenever I need sandpaper, because it gives you such a large variety. Some masking tape. I got that from Walmart. I think it was like 30 bucks. An Orville sander, you know, that's very useful. And a normal hand block. This is what will get you like your nice straight lines. So this is a must. If you do it by hand, you're gonna have a horrible time. It's never gonna come out nice. And I just got some like cardboard just to put some body filler on. So, and that thing's just a bunch full of random tools, like hand tools. Don't worry about it. And this is everything you need for the most part to get kind of like this style of look. You don't need anything crazy. A lot of it's sanding by hand to get the finer details, but yeah, that should hopefully get the point across. there we have it. This is, I guess, the end result for this section of the car. It's not perfect, but I think it came out pretty well considering how fast I did it and kind of like timing wise, you know, like how to get it done. I think it's not bad. Definitely not a pro. I'm an amateur that just kind of learns as he goes. Anyone can do this. I'm just, you know, doing what I got to do. So here I'm pretty happy with. Obviously, when I take the door off and bring it back to my place, I got to finish all of here. That's not a problem. I can finish this off the car. It was really just making sure I line this area up because I can't do that off the car. It has to be on the car. So now that that's done, everything else, including all the parts here, can be sanded and repainted. We're gonna have to do some plastic welding here, which is not a problem. Probably a little bit of fiberglass. Should be able to bust that out in like a day. So not too worried about that. Let's go ahead, start loading the truck up. Yeah, we'll probably load all this up first. Get that door out, swap out the doors, and put the door in last just because I kind of want the door in last because it's big and heavy. So let's get her done. Something about trucks. Alright guys, this is it. This is how she's going to be sitting now for a month and a half maybe. I really don't know. It just really depends on how fast I get to getting these parts done and painted. The door's on. It's not lined up perfectly, but I just need to make sure that, you know, you can tell it's like there's like no gap there. But I just need to make sure no animals can get in. And everything is now in the back of the truck ready to go. I just need to now finish packing everything up, like the tools. I got to throw the cover back on the car just so less crap gets on it from when it's sitting here. And yeah, that's it. That's gonna be it for the video. The next video is going to be like the final sanding and like the prep work. That shouldn't really be too long to make. The last video will probably be final paint and assembly, and the car will be back on the road. There's still a few things that I do have to finish on it. Like I gotta adjust the e-brake, the brakes, might have to look at them again. I got an iPad dash I gotta finish that my girlfriend reminded me about. Just a couple little things here and there, but for the most part the car kind of is at its state as I want it. Just we're cleaning it up obviously. So if you guys want to see more of that, please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, and just stick around for the rest of the build. Take it easy.